Hi, this is Jeff Gordon, and you're listening to Speed City.
Welcome back to the fastest hour in radio, Speed City.
We are going to start with IndyCar, and it was crazy because of the rain delays and all that, but it finished up, I don't know what time last night, about 8:30, 9 o'clock?
Yeah,
something
about
like
9,
that.
yeah.
So it was,
Like that, yeah.
but yeah, Jonathan, what'd you think, man?
I thought it was good. I was amazed that they waited as long as they did, but that's kind of IndyCar's way, isn't it? And they've got the crowd in there. They have come back on a Monday before now when it's almost impossible to put on, but they stayed. They had 2 hours. As a broadcaster, I love it because you really do get some insight because you get to talk to all the drivers and you see how they're hanging out, who hangs out with who. I was interested to see who's Rossi's friends are versus Pagenaud's mates or whatever it might be. But no, all in all, very good, and the cream rises to the top at the right time. This is the closest championship almost in the history of Indy, if not the closest. 7 guys going into yesterday's race, all capable of winning the title, and it's certainly far from over. But Newgarden was a class above everybody.
Hey, there is somebody tied for a record. Now, I don't know, maybe Adam knows more
Scott
details.
Dixon, all power.
I tell you, number of times on pole.
Power.
There you go.
AJ
Ties
Foyt.
Mario, what's his name?
What's his name?
Adam, do you recall his name?
How very dare you? Out of the studio.
Very well. Recall it very, very well. And no, he's it's a great era for IndyCar. It shows because it was the records that are being broken were held by the greats like Mario and AJ Foyt and with these this is the next cycle of great drivers, with Scott Dixon and Will Power, and these are legends of IndyCar. Make no mistake about it. And it also shows the international flavor of it all and how it continues to be such. And it's like my Uncle Mario has always said it best when they talk about American and Formula One is he said that this because nowhere else in the world has viable racing championship like America has with IndyCar. It's such a great championship to be a part of. And you look at the Formula One guys that come over here, like Romain Grosjean, for example, and how vocal he's been about how happy he is in IndyCar. So I just think it speaks volumes to what they're doing over there, to the captain and how when he's taking the helm of the ship, and it couldn't have been done by a better person. I think the sport is reaping the benefits of it. And I think the best are yet to come.
I'm totally with you on that. I'm jazzed by seeing all these legend names come back, and we're seeing somebody that we're comparing to those names legitimately by the numbers, and I love that.
Well, speaking of the next generation, we got some clips from IndyCar, and let's start with the winner, Joseph Newgarden.
Great night. This is a very big night. You got to win. You got to win these races when you're in position to do it. And I wanted to close that one out really badly, really, really badly. And so I was elated that we were able to get back going, and I had the opportunity on the restart. I'm thankful to my teammate. I thought Scott drove me with a tremendous amount of respect. He raced me hard. He wasn't giving me anything, but he just gave me a lot of respect. Chevy, I think can't talk enough about Team Chevy. I thought we had the engine to beat tonight, no doubt. We had great fuel mileage, reliability, power, all the things that we always want. I was pleasantly surprised and very, very satisfied with my car tonight. I thought it was, hooked up to tremendously once we got about midway through the race. It was a bit processional in the first half because literally every car just went to fuel save. It was like everyone wanted to try and make the 3-stop work, and I was surprised at how many people committed. It just seemed like the whole field flipped to it. So there wasn't a lot happening then, but as soon as that caution, when was it, 150, 155, something like that, when it provided that opportunity, to pit again, it changed things up, and it put people on different strategies, and that made it really exciting. And I thought that our car was able to maximize that strategy opportunity. And so I'm real thankful for my team for picking that out. You can't win this race without nailing calls like that and being good in the pits. There's a moment I thought it was slipping away from us too, but I think ultimately they made the right calls and did everything right, and we were able to close it out.
Yeah, it got a little bit processional there when they were all on that fuel-saving strategy. It definitely was like, all right, come on, boys. But after the little break they took, it was freaking awesome. But let's hear the next We got the next two guys. We got David Malucas. That was
Great story.
That was so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
But let's hear from Malucas now.
Yeah, so Pancho came on the radio, and he was telling me to set him up. Set him up.
Yep.
Yes,
Your
yeah, and
spotter.
my spotter, yeah, and I was trying so hard, but you know, they know how to do this. He's blocking my line and stuff. I was like, man, this is so hard. But Pancho said try going wide in 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 didn't really work, but you know they sweeped it and it felt really good. And I just said, you know, it's two to go. Let's try it, and it worked very well. You know, I had that bit of a clean air on the front right wing, and I was able to get a run. But because the track was just so much quicker with it being so much later, I ended up just hitting limiter in 6th gear, and I couldn't get any more of like a toe or a suck on him. So then we had to go like 2 wide in 1 and 2, and it was a little bit scary going wide there. I was definitely getting some loose ends, but overall, yeah, it was so happy that we managed to go back out, because we knew from practice yesterday, the cooler the track got, the better our car ended up being compared to the others around us. So we knew we had a good car going into it. I knew I had a chance.
Yeah, that move was fantastic, and I want to get y'all's feedback on that. But I want to play Scott Mclaughlin because he was the guy that got passed. So let's hear from Mclaughlin.
Oops. Gave it full jandle.
I think our car was very good, you know, in that afternoon, late evening, when the sun was still out. Once the sun went away, I lost my balance a little bit just in that last stint. Just didn't quite have, you know, what, you know, Joseph and for sure David had. David was really strong. He was coming at us really hard. But, you know, obviously me and Joseph pulled away there. But I sort of knew I didn't have much, you know, midway through that stint, and it started building loose, which was making it very hard to get runs off, similar to what I had in the daylight. And then that second last lap, just I got a little bit loose off 3-4. Dave got a good run. I could see what he was doing. He was trying to set it up, but I couldn't really get out wide just because the confidence I had in the rear of the car. But he did a phenomenal job, and he's been doing an amazing job all year. And you know, first podium Indycar is pretty hard to come by, especially on a short oval, and he's done a really good job.
All right, there's one more clip that I want to play before I get y'all's feedback, because they had Mclaughlin and Malucas on the stage. This is the post-race press conference at the same time, and they were hilarious together. Let's hear from those guys.
Through the race, I was doing the high line, but it was that last stint. I didn't do the high line till 2 to go. Well, I mean, like with Mclaughlin, at the end with the tires being starting to Mclaughlin, sorry. Put me under pressure, man. Yeah, so where was I at? Yeah, so with the last stint, when the tires were getting old, that's when I wasn't really doing the high line because I didn't think it would be able to hold, which is my mistake because the Dale Coyne racing car was very good and it handled it with a breeze.
So you get up there and now you're sailing. Are you like, damn it, why did I wait so long?
Yeah, exactly. So I did that, and then Pancho's like, okay, go get him. It's last lap. I'm like, that's 2 corners. Like, he's too far. So yeah, no, it was a bit unfortunate that I did it so late, but I guess, you know, rookie season, rookie stuff, and I'm gonna put it in the back of my brain and remember it for next time.
Do you think if you'd had one more lap, you could have gotten Joseph?
Maybe not. I don't know. It's tough. You know, he had the lap traffic. That's the only reason why I could really get to Mclaughlin and Newgarden. So, thank you. Yeah, it just almost feels better than getting second. So, but yeah, maybe a bit of a chance. Definitely, probably would have done some stupid thing to try to get really close to him. But I don't know. It's not like they weren't slow. I mean, they were really quick, and it would have been interesting.
If you're just listening on the radio, not on YouTube, he got a fist bump from McLaughlin just for pronouncing his name right.
Yeah, I have to say, I really like the mix that we've got in IndyCar now. And I mean, when I say that mix, we started talking about Mario Andretti, and I think Mario would be the first to say what an environment of really good, talented youth and experience. You've got the Scott Dixons that absolutely are worthy to be talked about in the same breath as AJ and Mario, and then and Power, and to a certain extent, you know, Newgarden. Yeah. These guys are really, really good, but so too are these likes of Malucas. We've hardly, you know, we've been talking about American drivers. How many times have we talked about Malucas? Not very often, and yet he's a great character. He really did, in my mind, come of age yesterday. It was a great run, and he's fun. He sings.
He was singing.
He was singing.
He does have a very interesting personality. If you watch this whole press conference, he was He was very unusual. He's just a funny guy.
I gotta ask. I gotta ask Adam. I gotta ask this. I don't know if you know, but he was singing. What was he singing?
Oh,
you spin me right round, because they were just doing circles and they were like on caution, and he starts singing and they were like, are you bored? And he's like, no. He goes, well, they were like, well, stop pushing. And they were like, oh, he goes, okay. Do you ever get bored? Do you ever sing?
No, I mean, I don't have that. I don't have that going on in there. Sometimes you can find like a rhythm of a song that kind of fits where you're at in a race or a certain racetrack. You kind of get that tune in your head, if you will. But no, nothing to that extent where I actually was like, and I like to save my team from my singing voice.
I can. I appreciate. I
think that's the way to go. But
they don't want to be the four-dimensional team, do they?
No, this young man, David Malucas, he's poised to win a race here very soon, and he's another future star. Dale Coyne always has a knack for finding that talent and fostering that talent. You know, he gave Justin Wilson his first win in IndyCar, and you know these are things that you find in a man like Dale Coyne and the opportunities that he gives. And a lot of times he's been given a bad rep over the years, but he's fostered a lot of great talent in IndyCar, so you gotta tip your hat off to a man like Dale Coyne for that. And David Malucas is yet just another one on that hit. And Joseph Newgarden, my goodness, can you? That guy's like unstoppable at Gateway. I believe that was 3 or 4 in a row there for him, and he's the absolute man when it comes to those short ovals in particular. But Gateway, he just has a special, absolute knack for. So he's just really, really special around there. And for Malucas to really kind of put the shivers in him at the end, and to think that he was maybe another, a mile and a half, 2 miles away from winning that if they had that extra time, that's a big deal for that little team. That is a David versus Goliath story, 100%.
Yeah. The other one I want to talk about, we just were watching him, Scott McLaughlin. I mean, it's as though he's one of the senior members of the Indy fraternity. I said to myself when Jimmy Johnson and he were doing the rookie tests, because they'd never done Indy, and the usual thing got thrown at Scott, which is, well, he's going to struggle on the ovals. Well, he doesn't struggle on the ovals, and he is. It's as though he's been there 10 years. I've always been a fan of Scotty, but I mean, he is in the groove.
It's really amazing how well he has done. You realize that he's in 6th place.
He could win the title.
Mathematically, he could. There's 2 races, right? And there's a 50-point. Yeah, he could mathematically win the title.
So I believe he was the one that was saying that where most of his oval experience came from was iRacing before he got into
iRacing, exactly right.
That really served to prep him for these different ovals. And gosh, IndyCar on short ovals is just fun to watch.
Yeah,
I know. I was coming in this weekend. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be excited about the short oval. And I was thinking, wait, I have seen the short ovals and it's looked good. And I mean, this race was especially
anything shorter than that, though, doesn't excite me. I don't like Richmond. I don't like. I'm talking about NASCAR now. Yeah. But the really, really short ovals. I think it's hard for stock and Indy to go there. Dallas is again very short, but this one I quite like for that same reason. But I love the big ones, obviously.
Yeah,
super speedways are great.
All right, gentlemen, let's move on to MotoGP.